We live. We live.
At the docket.
I'm going to have the jail, Mr. Patterson, take you back, and we'll take this up. I think it's going to take a little bit of time, and then we'll get back with you. I think that it appears from reading my criminal docket that the next case would be Michelle Ray Krieger.
No, Rebecca,
told
I've been
them
on
that,
3 months.
That's fun.
Only 3 months, Rebecca Lynn. 3 months. Oh boy.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
What
Miss
is that?
Krieger.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am,
Yes, sir.
in case number 23 MR50, you're charged State of Kansas
Rebecca,
versus
only
Michelle
3
Ray
months.
Krieger
That's
with a
it.
fugitive information. And this is out of the 10th Judicial Circuit, Marion County, Missouri. And this is for possession of controlled substance. And that is a level D felony. This is possession of controlled substance except 35 grams or less of marijuana, synthetic cannabinoid. The court out of Marion County, Missouri has set your bond in the amount of $10,000 cash or surety, $10,000 cash or surety bond. So that is the status of the case. Based on your being held and being incarcerated, the court does make inquiry in regards to your status. Are you currently employed?
I'm in the process, sir. I came out here to Kansas. My only family or friend here is an aviation mechanic for Spirit, and we're working on getting me on board with that with Spirit Company or Boeing.
Are you currently employed?
No, sir, I'm not.
Okay. And do you have any money put back to retain an attorney?
I personally don't, but
based on your lack, excuse me, ma'am, but
sorry, sir.
Ms. Krieger, based on your lack of financial wherewithal, in this case, the court does appoint counsel to represent you. Court does.
Shut up.
Pardon me?
I said, okay, I mean, I have means of getting out, but not my personal money to pay for a lawyer. I mean, I could get one, but I have a public defender in Missouri. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not trying to be rude or cut you off or anything.
No.
I'm just.
Well, the
I'm
court
sorry.
does appoint counsel to represent you in regards to this fugitive information. And the court does make inquiry if there's been any status of the case back to the county attorney's office out of Marion County, Missouri.
Your Honor, what I have in the file is a warrant for arrest for a failure to appear, but concerning the same charge and the same bond amount previously indicated by the court. I'm not sure if the court wants to address the possibility of waiver of extradition at this time or not.
Thank you. Miss Krieger?
Yes, sir.
You're charged out of the state of Missouri. If you wish to voluntarily waive extradition, you may do so. If that does meet with your approval, I believe the jail does have a waiver of extradition form available for you to review. And if it meets with your approval, and if that's how you wish to proceed, we may proceed with that at this time. Does the jail have a waiver of extradition form to present to Ms. Krieger?
Okay, like I said, I just want to get it over with. It's been a year since this happened, Your Honor. If I may say, please, just real quick, please. Prior to that, I have no record, and I've not been in trouble, sir. And yes, I have a. Is there any way I could please have the? I'll sign the waiver, sir. I just want to get it over with. I wasn't trying to run from them. I called my attorney the day of the 10th, and I was on the way. I was late, but they said no matter what, if I showed up, that it would still be a warrant issued. So my attorney, I was waiting word back from him, sir, and I'm unable to get in contact with him hardly, or actually ever. And I will speak to his secretary, sir. I'll pay to be on probation. I'll agree with whatever terms they have, but I'm sick. I have issues with my legs, and I was trying to better my life. I got out of Missouri, sir, to get away from all this stuff. And my attorney also knows I was in an abusive relationship there, and he told me to get away if I could get away.
Okay, Miss Krieger, let me go directly to the.
She's so not Judge Hart's speed. She's in a whirlwind for him.
Point that I've referred to previously. Do you wish to
Yes.
waive your right to extradition, or do you wish to go through the extradition process? It's your choice as to how you proceed.
Sign it, sir. I just want it. I'm not trying to. I'll sign it. I'm not trying. I just want to get it over with. Please, I'm sick.
Okay, you wish to sign the waiver of extradition form and be transported back to the state of Missouri, Marion County, in the 10th Judicial Circuit. Is that correct?
That's the best thing to do, correct, Your Honor? Because I'm agreeing to
No,
all this.
I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm trying to ascertain what is your free and voluntary act.
Yes, sir. I'll go. Yes, sir. But
There has been a waiver in light of that. There's been a waiver of extradition form that has been prepared. I believe it's before you. Please take your time in reading the same. And if it meets with your approval, you would simply execute, sign the same. I believe it calls for dating it today. And I would need you to place that up to the Zoom camera so I could review the same to see if that is done as your free and voluntary act.
Put the pencil in your pocket. There you go. You gotta read it.
Fine. I can't really. It's okay right now. I can't. I agree. Yes, Your Honor. I'll agree to it.
Okay, if that's how you wish to proceed, you would simply sign and date the same and hold it up to the camera.
Is there? May I ask you a question after this, sir? Please, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, hold it up closer. And raise it if you would, please. Raise up? No, up. Yes. Okay, thank you. The court does witness the execution of the waiver of extradition as Ms. Krieger's free and voluntary act.
Please ask a question, Your Honor.
Anything further, Ms. Krieger?
Yes, sir. Can I have means to be able to pay for a bond, please, sir? Is there any way that you could try, or please, I'll be, if you could please reduce my bond, please, and then even if you do, please, or I'll agree to monitor anything, or just to I will go directly to Missouri, sir. Like, I have means of that, but I'm sorry, I'm just not, if you could please, sir, but considering that I'm not having to give the court any issues prior to this, I've been compliance with everything they've asked me to do, and I agree to the prosecutor's, what he's wanting. It's just certain things I like.
Thank you, Miss.
I was with Mr. Please, sir. I was with Avenues, women's battered shelter there in Missouri. Or is there something I could, or if you could please reduce the bond so I can at least I'll get down there and handle this and get it over with. I was just late, Your Honor, and they said he would contact me, and Austin Smith is not. I haven't yet been able to get a hold of him, sir. But I have means. I just have one friend, one family. That's all he is, and I can get there. I can pay the bond, be put on monitoring, sir. Just to please allow me to be able to get out without having to pay. Like, I don't know how much I have to pay
Ms.
for the bond.
Krieger?
And sir, please don't leave me in here.
Okay, anything further, Ms. Krieger?
Or if you can release
This-
me to ask. Just the bond
Okay.
reduction.
Okay, you're asking, the court understands that you're asking for a bond
Oh
reduction.
my God.
In review of the court file, I do view the warrant for arrest for failure to appear that is issued out of the state of Missouri, dated March 13, 2023, by the court, sets your bond at $10,000 as your surety.
What is
The
as
the court does not modify that bond. So the court retains this court retains in force and effect the bond of $10,000 cash or surety.
So I have to pay 1,000, Your Honor?
Do a bond.
Ma'am,
Sure.
that is something that is a contractual matter between, for instance, a bondsman and yourself.
And I appreciate your time, but I'm confused as to should I be trying to contact a bondsman in Missouri or a bondsman here, Your Honor?
Okay.
I'm just trying to commute to my only person that I have, and like I said, I'm sick with diabetes. I may be pregnant, and if I could
What?
please do anything.
I would suggest that you contact a bail bondsman here in Butler County, Kansas, because that would be the one that would need to be approved by this court. I think that I am correct in regards to you'd have to bond out of this court at this time.
Yes, sir, and that's $1,000, correct? On the 10,000, sir?
The court does not get involved between sureties and clientele.
I'm so sorry. There's something else. Sir.
Anything further, Mr. Regier?
This poor girl, man.
I do not
Yes,
believe
sir.
so, Your Honor.
Judge,
man.
are you still appointing Mr. Watts?
No, Miss Regier or Miss Krieger
Yes, sir.
has voluntarily waived a right to extradition, and therefore Mr. Counsel is not appointed.
I do have, so I can get my same public defender back, or I might have to apply for another one. So I want to be in compliance. I want to make your job easier. And I just want to please, I can't help you guys any being in here.
There has been no change by this court of who represents you in the state of Missouri. There's been no change by this court.
Okay, and I'm on, and there's no way I can get a hold of, I don't know how to get a hold of, I'll find a way to get a hold of my public defender.
I do not know who your public defender is in the state of Missouri.
I understand.
Okay, Ms. Krieger, anything
Next.
further?
No, but if there's anything I can do, please, or that would help my situation better, please, I'll take any advice I could possibly have, because I don't know any of
She's
this
still
stuff, and like I
going.
said, I'm sitting here, and please,
Okay.
I'm like,
Well, there being nothing further to come before the court is in recess. And
thank you.
yes,
Thank you, Mr.
have a good day.
Ooh, she was
Judge.
exhausting.
Could
Yes.
we do the case that Mr. Patterson is on next?
Yes. And which case
Nothing can
would
top
that be?
It was
Told they're
Your Honor, the state has no objection.
yourself.
Satterfield.
We're gonna go
And this would
to-
be
All right,
Monday.
so this one is from my boy, Judge David Goggins, Mr. Goggins. And we're looking at Miss Murph. This is a landlord-tenant. And talk about rambling. We got a rambler. Let's roll, people. Thanks for coming back, even though we lost the stream Don't know what happened. We're back though. Hopefully we get some more people in the room, but I'm enjoying it with you right now. Let's roll.
Okay. Are they representing you? Do you know?
No, they just advised me to ask for an abatement.
I'm unaware of what
I-
the abatement is or is.
Thank you,
Um,
Mr. Zanstress. It's throwing me off too a little bit. I'm not really sure ma'am, what do you mean? What do you,
I spoke to legal services about the things that have been going on as far as like repairs, flooding that's happened from the time that I've lived there, mold. I've sent over proof in an email. I just feel like they say it's repaired, it's not. I've missed work due to some of the problems. I've tried to communicate with the manager, Lynette Williams, about that. I've tried to communicate with her about a payment arrangement. I've gone into the office when I guess she wasn't there, but another employee was. I've tried to communicate. I've sent over texts of me trying to communicate. I'm not trying to not pay. Legal services just advised me to ask for more time and also a reduction if possible.
okay, well, today's time set for hearing this matter. Mr. Zanstress, does that change anything? Do you want to?
Well, no, Your Honor, my manager indicates that everything's been repaired that she knows of. Her idea of wanting to make a payment arrangement, I'm not
Cherry
sure what it
Bay,
is. She's
welcome
on
to
Section
the
8, and I assume that means she hasn't paid her share here. I don't know. And I realize that, but right now we can maybe give her an extra few days to make the payments on this, but we need to get a judgment that says what the total balance is so she knows what she's working with.
I see. Okay.
Your
Let's,
Honor, may I say something?
Hey, Ken, ma'am, I don't want to make it too much if we're going to have a hearing here. What else did you want to tell me?
I just wanted to say every time, as to the black mold, they painted paint over it. It started coming through again. I called her, spoke to her about it. It's
Okay,
never been cut out.
All right, we'll have a hearing here shortly, okay? Let's, we'll pass on it for just a few minutes. Mr. Zanstress, let's go through the other ones you got first, I guess, and then we'll.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
See what. How about Clover Tree versus Kaya Overton?
We would dismiss that one, Your Honor. They've paid.
Okay. Dismiss that matter. How about Clover Tree versus Shalon Taylor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Shalon
Go
Taylor?
back to Murphy.
Yep. Shalon is here, and Your Honor, I have a case for them. I just wanted to ask Attorney Dinsmaster. She is going to be applying for Sarah this afternoon, and I just wondered if you'd be willing to adjourn it on that basis.
Yeah, yes, we would. We can adjourn it to next week if you'd like.
Yeah, and then we can at least see that she gets the application, and we can maybe work something out from there.
Great. Okay.
Okay, so we'll adjourn to April 25th at same time, 9:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Ms. Taylor,
Yes,
you're all set. You're all set. We'll see you next week. Make sure you do that application though. Okay?
I am. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Y'all have a good day.
All right. You're welcome. Bye now. Culver Tree versus Marquel Deloche. Marquel Deloche.
Retain possession of 1,000.
And I was.
Testifying on this matter. It is right now we have showing it's good habitable condition and there's rent. Hogley.
Ms. Murphy is that she was on Section 8 and she was under the assumption that they were going to pay all of her rent. And I guess she started, no, I know she was working and they did a income adjustment and changed the amount that they were going to pay for Ms. Murphy to have to pay a portion. She disagreed with that. And that's between them. She disagreed with what she had to pay. Still was letting her know that they wasn't paying. And that's why we're here today, because she hasn't paid the portion that they sent to me in the contract that she needs to pay.
Now, you are aware of this premises. You've seen it. You've been involved with it. and you're aware of the records and items you're speaking of, correct?
Yes,
And you know this because you are the property manager and have seen these records and know what you're talking about,
yes,
correct?
yes.
Okay. In addition, she's referred to items that had to be repaired at the premises. Have those items been repaired?
So Ms. Murph has had some issues. She has had some floodings. But I have not heard from Ms. Murph in regards to these floodings. I just had a maintenance guy over there a couple weeks ago to finish some patchwork. Ms. Murph hasn't said anything to me about no repairs that has not been completed recently. She also was in a Section 8 program where she could report any of those repairs that haven't been done.
Right.
The only thing that
Correct.
I've heard from her is that she has an issue with Section 8 not paying all of her rent. Now, in another time, I sent a maintenance over there to do something for her, and it was a gentleman there who's not on the lease who did not allow maintenance to enter. But I still haven't talked to Ms. Murph about that either, because I haven't talked to Ms. Murph. So we have tried to make access a couple times, but that gentleman denied it. But we were allowed to go in there that last time, and we did do a repair. We need to go back and finish to put the last coat of paint on that repair. But other than that, I don't know of any other things Ms. Murph has going on. She has not reported anything to me.
All right. Now, and your understanding is there's outstanding rent to retain possession of $1,147. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And cost of $130?
Yes, that's correct.
And so that would be a rent to retain, or a judgment asking to retain possession in the amount of $1,277.
Yes.
That's how much you believe is owed at this time, correct?
That's how much I know is owed. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Murph, this is your chance to tell me anything you want as well. Why don't you go ahead and proceed? I know you mentioned some
Yes.
water issues, I guess.
Yes, water issues. Constant flooding since the time that I lived there. Every time it is what they say is repaired, it happens again. In the same month, it floods on the carpet where my daughter crawls at. They've never gotten up the carpet. The last time that it flooded, they told me I could not shower for 3 days. They left a fan on my floor. They did not suck up any water. They put 2 holes in my laundry room. I have a small daughter. She'll be 1 on Thursday. She had upper respiratory infection. There's mold in there that they painted over. I've talked to Section 8. I'm not debating about what I have to pay. I've already spoken to them. So as far as the inspection goes, I've talked to the owner of Becca Management, and Section 8 will be coming over. I have to email him. So I already spoke to him about that. So my only thing is I'm just asking for a reduction for the fact that I've missed work, not being able to shower, with the inconvenience of this happening with me having a small child. It's not that I don't want to pay my rent. I'm just asking for a reduction due to the things that I've been going through. The paint, when they painted over the mold the first time, it came back through, and I did tell you about it. And every time that you've texted me and told me that I owed, I responded back, and I haven't gotten a response from you. And I did go in the office, and I spoke to the other lady, and I relayed to her to speak to you, and she told me she would, and I have not heard from you. I've tried to call you several times, even the day before court.
Ms. Murph, I guess before, just for everybody's sake, I get just one concern. You're saying there's a leak someplace, a flooding or a leak.
No,
where is it?
The flooding happens often. I think it's the people upstairs, but I literally have screenshots that I've taken that I've sent to the email.
Hold on, you got to help me out though. Where is it at, so I know what we're.
The mold is in the kitchen. The flooding is happening in the bathroom and in the laundry room. And every time that they say it's fixed, it always happens again. The carpet always gets flooded again. There's been sewage water on there with feces, and they've never replaced the carpet. And I have a daughter that crawls. The entire time Section 8 was paying my rent.
Okay, but And I guess Mr. Zinsmaster, do you want to address those? I guess that's probably the
Certainly.
biggest.
Or
Yeah, thank you, Your
Goggies.
Honor.
I'm
Okay.
Google for Goggies.
Now,
He gets
are
very
you
flustered.
aware of the issue about the flooding?
Oh, of course I am. And
Okay.
every time she's had a flood, I've addressed every issue. Now, if something wasn't done, I wasn't made aware, but every time she calls me and talks to me, I make sure someone goes over there. Now, if someone did not finish an issue or work order, they need to relay that to me. But every time she's had an issue, I do an instruction, and I have her carpet cleaned. One time I couldn't clean the carpet per the maintenance man, and said because she had a housekeeping issue. That's per the maintenance man. Now I didn't see it. He did take pictures of it. So that particular time we
Pictures of
wasn't
the feces?
clean the carpet.
What caused the
Earthquake?
flooding?
In this building, there's 12 different units in this building. If one person flushes wipes or flushes paper towel, it could cause a backup in the system. So we called American Sewer to come out to unplug it, or run a line through it, get down into getting to the wall to unclog it. There's no way for me to stop that because I can't pinpoint it because it's 18 people. And as she knows, every time it happens, I'll put some verbiage out, I'll send some text messages out. I wish I knew who was doing it. There's just no way. But when it happens, it's addressed. I've never left her over there with sewage on anything. That's unacceptable.
When was the last time that you were aware that there was a flooding issue?
I actually, Your Honor, I haven't been made known of a flooding in maybe some months now. So, because what we're doing now is preventative maintenance. So we're going to do quarterly to get it jetted to try to keep this from happening because there's no way to stop it. So quarterly, that building and another building are getting our water jetted.
It just happened in February multiple times, and when I asked when it happened over the weekend and they told me that I couldn't shower, they did not clean my carpet. I told them when they told me I couldn't shower and I couldn't go to work, I said that's not good enough. I need for you to contact Lynette. They told me that you can't tell them what they're going to do. So I don't know what the issue is with maintenance, but they left a fan on my floor for 3 days and holes in my wall for 3 days and told me I could not shower. And I have text messages proving that I contacted you about it.
Ms. Murph, I guess go ahead.
And visual proof of it happening. I have videos. I've sent it all over in emails.
In months. The only thing I talked to her about is rent.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
To the court, I sent it over the email that the courts gave me today. I've sent over proof.
What she's talking
about. Have you ever seen anything she's referring to?
What she's speaking about now, Your Honor,
what's she talking about?
Attorney John, I have no clue what Ms. Murphy is talking about recently. Now, I've said that she has had some issues, and I am very aware, and that now I'm doing preventative maintenance to detour those issues. I have no clue what Ms. Murph is talking about now. The only conversations I've had with Ms. Murph is about rent. She has not said anything to me about a flooding or a carpet cleaning recently. I just recently, 2 weeks ago, noticed that she did have a work order that wasn't completed. I sent my maintenance guy over there to complete it. Now, that was even before we started coming to court. Now, anything after that that's not done, she need to make it very aware to me. I do not know anything about an open work order from Ms. Murph. If she did tell my leasing consultant, then that maybe got miscommunicated, but she makes sure I get every message. Ms. Murph has my telephone number where she can call me and leave a message. She doesn't have to leave a message with my leasing consultant. She can call me.
I have. She can
call me. You have not said, I'm going to direct it to you, an attorney. She has not said anything to me about an issue. We've only been discussing rent. She has not said anything.
Let me just interject though, for my sake. Ms. Murph, your testimony was the last issue with the, I guess, a flooding or leak was in February. And
Yes.
for Miss McWilliam, is that the last time? Does that sound like the right time frame? That the last incident that you're aware of was
Your
February?
Honor, I can't accurately answer that question because it has been a while since she's had an issue. I
I
can't.
had
So
a,
when you say
a issue.
hold on,
I can't.
guys, I can't
I
have you speak.
cannot
Hold on.
accurately answer that
Poor
question.
Can't have
Goggies.
both of you speaking over each other, okay? All right, otherwise I'm gonna start taking over and nobody's gonna be able to talk till I unmute them, okay?
Goggies.
Ms. McWilliams,
Yep.
on your end, if the time, I'm not asking for an exact time period, but you said
It's
a
been
while.
a while, Your
When you say a
Honor.
while,
Yes, sir.
if it was
Maybe
February,
3
would
months. Maybe 3 months or so. Yes, sir. I'll give it 3 months.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, something like
yes.
that. Okay.
Daylight, that's gross.
You've got, as far as you're telling me, there's no outstanding work orders for anything that you're aware of?
No, sir. The one that I seen, the ending of last month was a hole in the wall due to trying to find, it was a backup in the building, and they put a hole in her utility wall to go into the wall to see if they could find out what that issue was. I was doing an audit on work orders and seeing that that wasn't closed, and sent Larry over there, who's my lead tech, sent him over there to complete the work order.
Okay, and so when
I didn't
was,
even
I'm sorry, Mr. Zinsmaster, I'm kind of taking over a little bit, I guess.
Oh, it's fine.
What the last month rent, when was the last month rent that you received from Ms. Murph?
I haven't received rent from Ms. Murph in maybe, I need to go get my phone up, probably about 5 months, sir.
Ooh.
That's not true.
I get rent from Section 8. I have not received monies from you.
Ooh.
Right, but
Is
I'm
that the
behind
outsta-
2
is-
months.
okay.
I'm behind 2 months,
What is she?
correct?
Oh, like
Not 5
$100
months.
after Section
No,
8?
you're not, you're behind more than 2 months.
I owe $1,277.
For 5 months worth?
Okay,
Good
so everybody
Lord,
agrees
lady.
with that, and whether it's 2 months or several
Ugh.
months, it's
like
That's
a
correct,
week in
John.
New
at the
Jersey.
minimum two months. Okay. Okay. Heard testimony from both sides. Given the totality of the testimony, I do find that there's rent owing of $1,147 plus court costs, $130 for a total of $1,277 to Ms. Murph's credit.
Shit,
She
the
agrees
fan.
that is an outstanding amount that's owing.
Good one.
Do find based on testimony in totality that there has been reasonable calls to correct issues that Ms. Murph has argued about. At this point, find that the last flooding, based on what Ms. Murph has said, it was in February. That's been a couple of months at least. Find that the amount of $1,277 owed. I find the premises that currently is in habitable condition. I understand that Section 8 is maybe doing an inspection. I'll leave that up to a different date if there's any other issues. Okay. So we'll do it for that amount, $1,277, allow a writ of eviction after statutory time period, 10 days. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, all right. So
Thank
we're
you.
gonna
Luck
go.
to everybody on that one.
Certainly. And if there's something Section 8 brings up, we'll follow
Goggins
up.
is
Whatever it is,
laughing.
Your Honor.
All right, we're gonna go to a one that's live right now. This is the 336 district. They actually show like a profile. This one's a good one if you don't subscribe to them. They're a hidden gem also. So I'm gonna go live. Hopefully they don't cut the stream while we're doing it. I'm gonna get as much as we can in there. This is a goodie. They're a goodie here. Here we go. Let's do this. What up, Mikey boy? See Mikey boy lurking in the chat. Here we go. Oh, live and die by the record. All right, here we go. Let's do it. All right, you know what? I'm going to my clips. I always got the goods. You know I got the goods, people. Okay, so this one is a goodie. get to it. Okay, so let's get a little Simpson tenant going on here.
Yes, sir.
Had you contacted Hawk at all?
I've had a job up to this point. I was making decent money. I literally just lost my job within the past week. So I mean,
Okay.
I called them today.
My question is, have you contacted
So
Hawk?
on that,
No,
on
sir, I have not.
the new ones,
All right, here.
Good morning, may I have your name, please?
And Mr. Fantera, you would type something to write with?
might be Miss Harris.
I actually
You're gonna
take
continue
paper
to get
checks
pulled
or any
over
kind
if
of
you don't
payment
get
in that.
Oh wait, didn't we cut out? I'm gonna play this for tonight. Didn't we cut out, guys? I'm sorry. We're winging it here on a nooner. Didn't we? I cut out on the Amarillo, right? So let's get the Amarillo one because the Amarillo one was really good. We cut out on Amarillo. All right, cool. All right. So
2 p.m.
we were
Getting your fines.
This
Barely
one's
getting
really good. I
this room with
forgot.
us
That's
was-
right.
I
All right,
was
we dropped
getting
this one. All right, here we go. Oh, these are goodies. Here we go. These two ladies are fantastic. Let's roll, people. I'm sorry for the delay. Here we go.
You didn't appear. You came into virtual court. You talked to Judge Ratliff, who you'd spoken with before. She said, you're going to have to come in person. We have to take care of this in person.
Yes, ma'am.
You still didn't appear. Why didn't you appear?
I was kind of going through a lot at that moment. I was getting evicted, and then I had to
Here we go.
like let JBS know, and they don't really like do good on the missing and stuff. So they have to.
I totally don't understand that last thing you just said.
Like they don't do good like whenever you have to miss and stuff,
All right.
a lot of work. So they just told me that to see if I'm gonna be able to get reinstated and all that. So as of right now, I didn't have a job or anything.
But
So-
you came in to see, the Judge Ratliff specifically told you to come in person. She said, come in person and we'll talk to you in person.
We can have
She
Lincoln.
didn't say, wait, she just said, come in person.
Yeah, I don't know. She just kind of scared me.
Judge
I mean,
Ratliff?
Yes, I don't know
Like
why.
the nicest person here.
She scared me. I was like, she made it seem like I was just gonna go to jail as soon as I went in.
No, that's not how it works. And then you got new tickets because you continue to drive. And on April 14th, and for some bizarre reason, that officer didn't take you to jail.
Yeah, and that's whenever I was gonna go to court on the 26th, right? It says.
No, you should have come on right in because that should have been a sign. That should
Yeah.
have been a little bit of a blessing. Did he talk to you about your warrants?
Yes, ma'am. He told me to just go whenever I go in, whenever I go do my court for those.
Were you gonna come in?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Really? You were?
Yes.
Even though Judge Ratliff told you, come in,
I got
14
scared.
days later, you get a new ticket.
Well, yeah, that's why I got scared because I was like, well, I might as well go in because I just got blessed. I'm not going to jail tonight.
Well, and then yesterday, how did it even come about that
Sally,
the police came to your house?
Amy, Peach.
I wasn't even at my house. I was at my boyfriend's house, and they came for his. He had a bond surrender.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've
So
got
I
these
didn't even-
tickets from April 14th on the no driver's license and the no insurance. How do you want to handle those today? Your two new tickets.
I guess set a payment plan or something.
Well, do you want to plead not guilty, no contest, or guilty?
Oh yeah, guilty. Sorry.
Okay. You don't want to have a trial or hire a lawyer or do any of those things?
No, I did it. So.
Okay, and those, you weren't arrested on those. You don't get any jail credit on them.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll release you on those to report here. So your boyfriend got arrested too?
Yes, ma'am.
Did I see him today?
I don't know.
He just had, well, he was not in this room with us, was he?
No.
So he just has higher charges. Okay.
Yeah, I think they went to Potter. Honestly, I'm not sure.
Oh.
Because I had asked them up there in booking whenever I was up there.
Yeah, well,
They
you
said-
would have seen him, I guess.
Yeah, they said they didn't have them.
She is a liar. What you gonna do? The judge scared her. Give me a break.
Well, you owe $1,285 on your CAPIAS. I'm going to give you 2 days jail credit on that. That's going to bring you down to $1,085. You're not working?
No, I'm gonna get reinstated at JBS.
When?
I was planning on doing it this Monday because I'm barely getting situated in somewhere right now. So I've been trying to figure out where I'm gonna stay and stuff. And I barely figured out somewhere right now.
Okay, so why did you have to miss work?
To move all my stuff.
And why did you get evicted if you were working at JBS?
My landlord, I don't know. She just asked me to move out because I do it month to month. And she just asked me to move out.
So she didn't evict you. She just ended your lease.
Yeah. But she gave me I don't know. I don't even know if it's legal or not, but she only gave me 3 days to move out.
I don't know anything about what your lease terms were. So
yeah, well, she told me she gave me a paper saying that she gave me 30 days, but then she just marked out the 0 in it and said 3 days.
So
I had to get a storage and everything for it because I didn't know where to put it. So
well, here's what's weird to me. You were able to afford to, now you're telling me you've put your stuff in storage. You know, it seems like you can afford kind of the things you want to afford, but you're not prioritizing your ticket payments.
My mom paid for the storage. I didn't get that storage.
Well, did you tell your mom you had a bunch of warrants?
No.
I'm just not convinced that you're going to commit yourself to getting your fines paid and you continue to get tickets. Tell me something good.
Well, I do
give me some hope.
I do plan on going to court as soon as I get out on Monday, and
you were going to go get your job back on Monday.
Yeah, if I don't, I already have another job too at Whataburger.
Why haven't you been working at Whataburger?
Because I barely applied, and I know someone that's been out there for a year already, and he's gonna get me on. And it's closer than JBS, so I will have I could just ride with him to work. I won't have to look for a ride or anything.
Probably not as good of benefits though.
I know. Not the dental and all that. Vision, health.
Okay, I'm going to give you one more try.
Okay, thank you. So do I appear on Monday at 2 or before 2?
Yeah, be here a little bit before 2.
Okay.
That's weak, Judge.
Yeah,
weak.
yeah, because the line gets really bad. And
okay.
I want
Give
you
her
in
the map
courtroom
and she's
too.
on her way.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
The Amarillo court map. Okay.
Alexandria Renee Stone,
Here
Colorado.
we go. We had a poll. How many children does she have? Ready? Here we go.
From October 30th of 2021, you have a no insurance ticket. From January 4th of 2022, expired DL, operation of vehicle with expired plate, and failure to maintain financial responsibility. Second, those are at KPS. You owe $1,095. I'm going to give you $300 credit. Your balance will be $795. From Monday, April 17th, you received citations for not having a driver's license, failure to maintain financial responsibility, operating a vehicle with expired plate, and driving around in some type of vehicle that had defective equipment. Hold on, I can't. I think that's all. Maybe not. And displaying the wrong license plate. Not having license plate. Expired plates.
I had just bought the car from someone, and so I
Hold on. So on that, on the new ones, I don't understand why they're saying the date of offense is April 17th. You got the ticket yet? He's paid. Now, I want you to bring proof of your bills. You got out of jail on.
Yes, ma'am. And my husband is not.
Bug nuts all on your tires, okay? So on those three, let's enter not guilty pleas. I'll give you a bond on those so you can get out and get your car fixed. You're going to continue to get pulled over if you don't get it taken care of.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you get that stuff done in 30 to 45 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold on. Let me move those cases off of what we're doing. So we're not guilty. You work at Thai Garden?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is that?
It's on Emerald Boulevard, right before you get to the light on East Street.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it's really good.
What do you do there?
I just work the register because I have a broken leg, so I haven't been able. I just barely went back to work.
Okay. Okay, so those three, we're gonna hope we get that resolved. What'd that officer say to you about your warrants when he saw you on Monday?
He said, you know that you have some warrants, and I explained to him the situation, and he said, well, I'm not going to take you to jail. I'm just going to give you 6 citations, and that's what he did.
We're like, okay. Okay, now on the no driver's license and the no insurance from April 17th, how do you want to handle those?
Guilty.
If you plead guilty, I'm going to find you guilty. It's going to cause that insurance to get suspended again, or your driver's license. It's going to be another suspension.
And how do those work? How does the suspension work?
Suspensions work that you need to get on the DPS website. It's actually pretty good. You can get on their website and see what you need to do to get your driver's license unsuspended.
And if I say not guilty,
if you say not guilty, I'll give you a bond. You can come in here. We can talk about what you need to do to try to defer it. In order to defer it, you need to get insurance.
Okay, I'll plead not guilty.
Okay. How'd you break your leg?
I got into a motorcycle wreck. I was trying to learn how to ride a motorcycle, and I was out like in a field, and I just was going too fast, and I couldn't think fast enough, and I put my foot out, and when I put it out, I hit a tree, and
I don't even want to hear the rest of it. It's neat. So I know how to ride a motorcycle, but I went and took a motorcycle safety class.
Right.
On a little Honda 50 or whatever they are. Those little motorcycles. But I mean, you don't have insurance or?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So how did you support yourself when you couldn't work?
I've been staying with my aunt. And I have 11 kids also. So my husband.
You have a what?
I have 11 kids, 11 children. I have 6 boys and 5 girls.
You have 11 children?
Yes, ma'am. And my husband is.
How old are they?
My oldest is 14 and my youngest is a year.
Like you have given birth to 11 children.
Yes.
And then you decided to go learn how to ride a motorcycle in a field?
Well, I already knew how to ride a motorcycle, but I was trying to like upgrade to a bigger motorcycle. I mean, that was my mistake right there. I have a Sportster and I wanted to ride a Fat Boy and it wasn't working out.
Oh, she rode a lot of Fat Boys about 11 times.
This is so interesting. So do all your kids live with you?
Well, we're in the process of them moving back in with me. My husband went to prison and we had a house out in River Road and CPS got involved. And so they took them from me and now I'm having to get them back slowly since there's so many of
Okay.
It's a
Um,
big story.
It's always a big story with CPS. So are you working services?
Yes, ma'am. Just me breaking my leg kind of slowed me down for a little bit. So we're kind of like behind, but it's not a big deal.
Why don't you come in, when you come in, have you told us all this before?
I didn't really get to talk too much the last time I was in jail. There was like a lot of people in here and she didn't really, I guess, want to.
All right, we're gonna come back to this because I got this. This is so interesting the way this court does it. I've never seen them do this like this before. They do this with every case. You guys are gonna love this, and I don't want it to cut out because she cuts it and it's never to be seen again. So we're gonna head over there right now, and then we can go back to Mrs. 11 Kids. Here we go. So just watch how interesting what they do here. Hopefully they don't cut it out, guys. I'm sorry. I just wanted to do this. Let's go.
I'm just going to step through them one at a time. I want to make sure that you have an understanding of each of the charges. I'm going to screen share those. If you have a question, let me know. First, we're going to look at CR 22-28392. And this is a felony of the 3rd degree. And it alleges the offense of possession of child pornography enhanced.
Oh.
And the offense date is May 1st, 2022. And the state is alleging a prior conviction out of the 42nd Court in Callahan County for the felony offense of sexual assault. So that makes this felony 3 punishable by a minimum of 2 years and a maximum of 20 years and up to a $10,000 fine. Do you understand what the state's saying you did in this case?
Yes.
And do you understand the range of punishment in this case?
Yes.
Let's turn your attention to cause number CR 22-28393. Do you see this charge on the screen?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Here are the states alleging the offense of aggravated sexual assault of a child less than 6 years of age. And the state is alleging that prior conviction. And that gives an indication that the range of punishment is a minimum of life without parole. Like that's the whole range of punishment. Is the state is doing something inside of that? Is the state wanting to do something with the enhancement provision? I can't hear you, Mr. Porter.
Isn't this great? Us court watching.
I'm sorry, Judge. I was looking at the facts in this case. What was the question?
So the range of punishment for aggravated sexual assault of a child less than 6 years, I believe it's 25 to 99 or life, usually. But the state's alleged a prior conviction, that same sexual assault that I talked about in the previous indictment. My question for you is, with that prior offense conviction, it makes the range of punishment life without parole. And I'm asking you, are you wanting to strike your enhancement paragraph so the range is 25 to 99 or life?
I think consistent with the state's plea agreement, we would have to strike the enhancement paragraph.
All right, Ms. McDonald, was this your understanding in the plea process?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Guys, have you ever seen it like this before? I've never seen them do it like this before. This is great. We're such nerds. We are such nerds. Just put a poll up. You're live streaming with me, people.
All right, Mr. Cheney, have you been listening to what we've been going over?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so do you understand that the state's made a motion to strike the enhancement
Yeah, I know,
provision,
Monica.
which changes the range of
It's a
punishment
nooner.
from life without
All bets are
parole
off
to
then, a
instead
nooner.
a minimum of 25 years up to 99 or life? Do you understand that's now the range of punishment in this cause number?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now we're going to turn your attention to CR 22-28553. And here the offense is possession of child pornography enhanced. The offense date is May 1, 22, and their prior conviction is alleged. I'm left with the impression that it was a separate photograph so that it would be not the same photograph.
And then she
charged
told
twice.
Al that he's not in the
Is that
US.
your understanding as well,
And we
Mr.
later
Cheney?
learned.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand this charge and that it's a felony 3 with a 2 to 20 range of punishment?
Yes.
All right. Let's go to our next cause number. And this is cause number CR 22-28554. And do you see this charge on the screen?
Yes.
Again, we've got the same offense, possession of child pornography enhanced, a May 1 offense date. Again, I'm left with the impression it's yet a third photograph that meets the definition of pornography. And we have that same prior conviction. So that's again, a felony 3 with a 2 to 20 range. Do you understand this charge and the range of punishment in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you also of the impression that it's probably referencing a third picture that meets the definition of pornography?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I want to turn your attention to CR 22-28555. And here the state is alleging again that same offense date, and the same prior conviction. So we have the same range of punishment. So I'm left with the impression perhaps this is a fourth picture that meets that definition. Is this your understanding in this charge?
Yes.
Do you understand what the state's saying you did in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand the range of punishment in this case?
Yes.
Now I want to turn your attention to cause number CR 22-28556. We have this one on the screen. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Again, we're looking at the same charge and the same range of punishment with the same prior conviction. And it purports to be maybe a fifth photograph that meets this definition. Do you understand what the state's saying you did in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand the range of punishment in this case?
Yes.
Now I want to turn your attention to CR 22-28557. Can you see this charge on the screen, sir?
Yes.
All right. And here we're looking at that same charge, possession of child pornography with a prior conviction and the same range of punishment. Any questions about this charge or the range of punishment in this case?
No, ma'am, I understand.
Okay. And I know it might seem a little tedious, but I want just to make sure we've double checked everything and that there's no questions, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so now we're going to turn to cause number CR 22-28558. Here we have the same offense alleged, same prior conviction, same range of punishment. Again, making me think perhaps this is a sixth photograph or item that might rise to the level of pornography. Do you understand what the state's saying you did here?
Yes.
Okay, let's turn your attention to CR 22-28559. All right, do you see the charge on the screen here?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is another charge alleging the offense of possession of child pornography and the prior conviction, so the same range of punishment. Any questions about this charge or the range of punishment in this case?
No.
We'll turn your attention now to cause number CR 22-28560. Again, the same charge, same offense date, same prior conviction, same range of punishment. Any questions about this charge or the range of punishment in this case?
No.
I've listened to what you told El Paso about the sex assault that happened in the house.
I already knew that you guys were listening to him. Yeah. So I said that because I was angry.
But what I think I can offer you today is some help.
Okay.
So in the beginning of that portion, Mr. Grusing, she's talking about she's been trying to reach out to get people to go places. Do you know of any effort she made to reach out to give information, factual information that could be acted on?
I don't.
So in this, basically in this interview, do you also go through a portion where you're describing that you're looking at her stories and they're just not making sense?
Correct.
I'm going to jump to 1 hour, 51 minutes and 40 seconds and play 1 hour, 56 through 1 hour, 56:24.
And so I'm looking at your story, the ones that you've told to Al, the ones that you've said in the media, of hitting your head. When you hit your head, you didn't see what happened. And then when someone else takes Gannon, or when he's riding a bike and he hits his head and stuff like that.
Riding a bike. I just told you I was saying that to Albert because I was upset that he wasn't listening to me, that I did not hurt Gannon.
I don't think you intended to hurt Gannon at all.
There's no.
No, I'm not saying you did, or he hurt himself. Something bad happened in his room. Have you seen you helped clean it off the wall? We know that.
This here, what you're talking about is completely irrelevant. About the whole thinking bad, whatever.
Tell me about, if it's irrelevant, Letitia, help me. Because there's a big blood pool in the corner, there's spray on the wall.
Because if I tell you anything about any of that, all you're going to say to me is, hey, da, da, da.
If you didn't do it, no, I will be your advocate. Because why do we know each other?
No, but
why would I care? If you didn't do it and it helps me find Gannon?
I didn't do it.
Okay, well then help me find out who did.
Who did what?
That to Gannon in his room.
Done what to Gannon in his room?
There's a pool of blood in the corner.
Okay.
That's Gannon's blood.
Okay, so you're saying now this is where I have a hard time knowing what it is. You're like, okay, trust you or not, right? You're saying there's a pool of blood. Albert said saucer size, because I'm sure you had him say all this, because I'm sure you were there, or whatever. Okay, in his room, and you said something about, what'd you say? Then, if that's your whatever, your expert advice or whatever, okay, then where do you think that I had any involvement with Gannon, and where did he go? That's where that's where it has to click at some point.
And that's what I listened to you do that to Al, to where you're making him guess what happened to Gannon.
I don't want him to guess.
Well, no, you're asking me to guess.
No, I was asking the question, sir. I wasn't trying to get you. I was just saying in general, asking the question. I want help with people understanding. I tried to give any insight, help, clue, anything, but I can't because they know my daughter, everyone, my family, my mom, everyone. And you can think that.
But right now, Letitia, I mean, you can go down that road, but it's not going to save you in court. Because you're the last adult living. And nobody else, just let me try to protect you. I'm not trying to hurt you here. This is actually protecting you. If you don't tell us where to go investigate, then nobody's going to investigate for you. You're the last adult living. You told a lot of lies about all these injuries.
Not to you. I didn't tell lies to you or to any police officer.
Did a sex assault happen in the house?
I didn't tell any lies to you or a police officer.
Yeah, okay.
So we don't have anybody to chase though. If we don't chase you, do you understand?
But if you chase me, okay, and you do this to me, people are protected because you guys aren't going to protect everybody. People are protected.
We can protect people. We can protect you, family, if this is involved. Now, I've worked South American death groups. I've worked gangsters. I've worked organized crime.
Mm-hmm.
None of that stuff rings true with what happened here. I mean, how is a very organized gang going to come into a house in Colorado Springs?
You said it, a house. Why does it have to be in the house? See,
that's
where
where he
you're
last was.
Oh.
Are you going to make me guess where he was then?
No, I'm telling you, you're not going to listen to me. You already just said the last was in the house.
But see, you're going back to you care what I think. You shouldn't care what I think.
I do care what you think. You want to know why? Because I care about how people think of me, because I am not that kind of person. That's why.
And if you can point me to a different person, then I can help you.
I gave him.
So it stopped at 156.26. When the discussion about the riding the bike and Quincy Brown came up, she stopped you and said, basically she gives a description of, she was just saying that to Al. Do you remember that portion?
Yes.
Was that her basically admitting that what she had told in that particular story, that Quincy Brown, that whole thing was not true?
Correct.
What about the portion of the discussion where you point out that, are you trying to make Al guess? Or are you trying to make me guess? What was your intent of making that distinction there, and what were you trying to get to?
Well, I had asked her a question about the blood in the bedroom, trying to get her to explain that to me. And instead, she posed the question to me that if she was responsible, where was Gannon? It's an open-ended question that only she knew. And as I told Letitia, I had seen her do this to Al. I'd heard her do it to Al while we were in the room multiple times. When it's a direct question, we need an answer, or I needed one for the blood, and instead she's asking me where Gannon is, and she knows that I don't know the answer.
Did it appear from your perspective that was intentionally trying to not give you information as to what happened in the room, or to Gannon?
Yes, both.
Did you confront her with web searches that were done on her phone?
Yes.
I'm going to jump to that portion of the interview, and this is 1 hour, 56 minutes and 52 seconds through 2 hours and 10 seconds.
As you know, in here, I even have what you entered in your phone. The stuff that you've entered and deleted. Like blood is spurting from an arterial bleed, direct pressure not controlling.
Do what? I didn't look this up.
It's from your phone.
Blood is what?
Spurting from an.
All right, guys, it's been real. I gotta go take baby time to practice. I'll be on tonight, people. I will see you tonight for the live. Have fun. Kiss your kids. Make sure you have some din-din. Make sure you catch time live. I love you all. I will see you later. Go check out Credence and Mikey. They're on